Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Perez. Welcome back to Beyond the Smoke, third installment. Technically, as I'm loading them online, there'll be several installments, but it's the third week, I should say. With me once again, Gary Leonard Jr.
How you doing?
Santiago Cigars. We are going to be discussing tonight a very common wrapper.
Yes.
When it comes to cigars, we're discussing Connecticut Shade. This one that they use. You know what? I'm just going to let you. Why don't you tell the good folks about the wrapper that you use?
This one's actually a good week for me because this is my favorite cigar blend that we do here at the Santiago Cigar Factory. This particular cigar and the ones we'll be featuring today are actually wrapped in an Ecuadorian-grown shade Connecticut seed wrapper. We also do use and utilize some American-grown Connecticut shade, but for today's installment we'll actually be talking about the Ecuadorian-grown. The thing that makes the shade Connecticut such a popular wrapper in the cigar world is being that it's grown under shade and very labor intensive, which doesn't have anything to do with what I'm about to say, but since it is grown under the shade, it keeps a very thin leaf that doesn't accumulate a lot of oil, and it also keeps a nice light color. So with this, the Connecticut shade wrapper, it could actually be blended any place from very mild, which is what we'll be smoking today, all the way up into the full body range, depending on the filler and the binders that are used.
Now, I'm not normally a mild cigar guy, you know this, but this actually is a pretty nice cigar. If you like mild cigars out there, I would definitely recommend this. What makes your cigars so flavorful?
Well, with the blends that we use, and as far as a Dominican filler cigar is concerned, when it comes to the Connecticut shade, the flavor is going to be derived mostly from the filler. The beautiful thing about a Connecticut shade grown wrapper is it does allow you to taste the fillers more because it is lighter and it's thinner and it doesn't have a lot of its own oils. It does add a slight flavor to a cigar, but you're going to get the predominant filler flavor out of it. And what sets ours apart from most in the industry is because of our factory down in Dominican and Jorgito, our master roller down there, he is like a bush hog for tobacco.
Okay.
He is able to go out and source us the best tobaccos that are available on the Dominican island, which then in turn means that you can roll and blend the best flavorful cigars here in the States, given that I also have the best master roller in the world.
In the world. In the world.
In the world.
That's quite a statement. It's probably true, though.
I put my guys' work against anybody's.
Yeah, and I'll put Santiago Cigar Factory cigars against anybody's.
Absolutely.
I smoke a lot of cigars, and these are literally, I can't say enough about your brand.
And that's what we have kind of been striving for, was not only to give people an alternative price-wise to what they can smoke here in New York State, but also flavor-wise.
Right.
We want to roll the best cigars that you can, given the fact that we're able to access the best tobaccos and have access to the best rollers.
Nothing wrong with that at all. I'm throwing down the gauntlet. If any of you out there think that your cigars are better, send me some. I'll put a little taste comparison together. And
just as a side note, they'll actually get to see our man in work
right
very soon.
Yes, we're going to be recording Mr. Bonilla rolling some cigars pretty soon.
Doing his craft. And for anybody who's ever actually been into our shop and have witnessed it, they understand Mr. Bonilla is top notch.
And one of the things that you guys do that's pretty cool is, I mean, when he's rolling, he's actually out right by the window.
Yes.
And people love to stop and watch him do his thing.
Absolutely.
People come in and stand there.
He attracts a crowd.
He does. And if you've never seen a cigar rolled, I would recommend checking it out. It's actually really, really cool to watch because it's not just, they're not just taking some leaves and rolling it up. There's an actual art form, a craft to it. You have to mold it properly. You have to get the proper cut. You have to.
Not everybody can roll a cigar.
No.
And having gotten into the business and seen him, I'm one of those people who cannot.
Right. Now let me ask you, who came up with the different blends for your Connecticut's?
That's actually been a three-prong attack. It's part me, part my father, and part Mr. Bonilla.
Okay.
What we do here at the Santiago Cigar Factory is we are always getting different types of tobaccos in, and that's when you start to rely on Mr. Bonilla's knowledge of tobacco, in that he will roll and blend us stuff that he thinks will be flavorful, and 9 times out of 10 he's right.
Nice.
And after that, there may be some tweaking to a blend,
right,
but it's very minimal.
Right. And I've seen this guy just grab some tobaccos and roll up a cigar and give them to us, and they're great.
Absolutely. There's no better way of tasting the individual leaves of tobacco than if your roller just gets you a one-off off the bench.
Right.
You couldn't sell it. It's not a pretty cigar.
No.
But if you smoked one, you'd buy it.
Absolutely. Now, you guys have a very wide range of sizes when it comes to the Connecticut wrap.
The Connecticut wrap will be the particular blend that we offer the most sizes in. It's very diverse in that we range from a Lonsdale, which is a 44 ring gauge by 6 inches long, all the way up to cigars this size, which are 60 ring gauges, and we go as large as 6.5 on these. We also do some of them smaller, especially when the cold season comes. Mm-hmm. We feature some of our cigar blends in a smaller, shorter roll.
Right.
Being in Rochester, New York,
right,
it's a necessity. But what this cigar offers that, say, a medium or a full body blend can offer is new smokers can come in and get a very flavorful cigar without it being too robust in flavor.
Right.
And most new cigar smokers aren't going to want to come out and start with a full body Maduro wrap, oil dripping off the wrapper. This is a nice way to start, and then people like me just kind of stay. Where most people tend to gravitate towards higher body in cigars.
Right. Now, you said something important there. You said a lot of newer smokers tend to generate to something a little lighter, which is true. And I think that's why, for a very long period of time, Macanudo was the #1 cigar manufacturer in the United States, because they made a wide selection of very mild cigars.
Yes.
Now, Macanudo, your cigars don't compare. Sorry. Now, let me ask you a question. Last week we were talking about some of your stronger cigars and how they're adorned with a little pigtail.
Yes.
Now, this is a Connecticut Bulldog. Can't keep these in the shop.
That is true.
This has a pigtail on it.
That was done so that it would look like the other Bulldog we offer, which is the Pennsylvania Bulldog, which we actually sampled last week.
Right.
We wanted to kind of give the cigars a similar look, because that particular cigar actually is one that we have sold to and is very popular amongst the Marine crowd.
Okay.
And we wanted them to, if they happen to wander into the Santiago Cigar Factory and look for the cigar, we wanted them to be able to notice it without even having to read the name.
Okay.
So that one came in with the pigtail simply to mimic the other Bulldog. In the shop, if it has the pigtail and, for lack of a better term, a foreskin on it, that's going to actually signify a full body blend here in the shop.
Right. Excuse me, sorry guys. Don't know what's up in my throat.